What happens when one of Britain's most beloved actresses walks onto a morning talk show expecting a pleasant chat, only to face an ambush that leaves the entire studio speechless? In just 45 seconds, a simple question about her latest project turns into the most uncomfortable moment in daytime television history, exposing a host whose ego couldn't handle sharing the spotlight with true talent. Julie Walters sits down on the bright orange sofa, smiling warmly at the audience. The studio lights beam down as the camera pans across the set. Lorraine Kelly sits across from her, clipboard in hand, wearing a sharp blazer and an expression that somehow manages to look both welcoming and cold at the same time. "So Julie, lovely to have you here," Lorraine begins, her voice syrupy sweet, but with an edge that cuts through the politeness. "I've been dying to ask you about this new film you're in, though I must say, I'm surprised you took the role." Julie's smile falters slightly. "Oh? Why's that?" The studio audience shifts uncomfortably. Sarah, one of the regular panelists sitting to the left, glances nervously at Mark, another panel member on the right. They both sense something off in Lorraine's tone. "Well," Lorraine continues, leaning back in her chair with an air of superiority, "it's just that the character seems a bit beneath someone of your previous caliber. I mean, we all remember your glory days." Julie blinks, processing what she just heard. "Glory days? I'm sorry, I don't quite follow." Lorraine waves her hand dismissively. "Oh, come on, Julie. Let's be honest here. Your peak was years ago. This role feels like you're just trying to stay relevant, doesn't it?" The air in the studio freezes. Sarah's mouth drops open. Mark shifts forward in his seat, looking like he wants to intervene, but isn't sure how. The camera crew exchange shocked glances. Julie's posture straightens. Her voice remains calm, but there's steel underneath. "Lorraine, I took this role because I connected with the character. She's complex, flawed, and real. That's what drew me to her." "Complex?" Lorraine laughs, a harsh sound that echoes through the studio. "Darling, she's a supporting character in what's essentially a television movie. Hardly the prestigious work you used to do. But I suppose we all have bills to pay, don't we?" Sarah finally speaks up from the panel. "Lorraine, I think what Julie is trying to say—" "I wasn't asking you, Sarah," Lorraine snaps, not even looking at her panelist. Her eyes stay fixed on Julie. "I'm talking to our guest, or should I say, our has-been guest." The insult lands like a slap. Julie's face reddens, but not from embarrassment. It's anger, pure and justified. "Has been?" Julie repeats slowly. "That's quite a thing to say to someone you've invited onto your show." "I'm just being honest," Lorraine says with a shrug. "Someone has to be. The industry has moved on, Julie. Younger actresses are taking the roles you used to get. It must be difficult for you to accept that your time has passed." Mark leans forward, his voice tentative. "I actually think Julie's recent work has been incredible. The range she shows—" "Mark, please," Lorraine interrupts again, her voice dripping with condescension. "Let's not patronize her. Julie knows the truth. She can see the writing on the wall. That's why she's taking whatever scraps come her way." Julie's hands grip the armrest of the sofa. "These aren't scraps, Lorraine. This is a well-written film with a talented director and a story worth telling. Just because it's not a blockbuster doesn't mean it lacks value." "Value?" Lorraine scoffs. "Is that what you're calling it now? When I was researching for this interview, do you know what I found? Review after review calling your recent performances tired, uninspired. One critic even said you were phoning it in." "That's not fair," Sarah interjects again, her voice stronger now. "Julie has won multiple awards. She's a national treasure." Lorraine finally turns to Sarah, her eyes flashing. "A national treasure? Is that what we're calling actors who can't get decent work anymore? Sarah, you really need to stop living in the past. This is my show, and I'll conduct my interviews how I see fit." "Your show," Julie says quietly, but everyone hears it. Is that what this is about? You feeling threatened? The studio goes deadly silent. Even the audience seems to hold its breath. Threatened? Lorraine's laugh is sharp and bitter. By you? Oh, that's rich. Why on earth would I feel threatened by someone whose career is circling the drain? Julie stands up. The microphone clipped to her blouse crackles slightly with the movement. I'm not going to sit here and be insulted. I came here in good faith to talk about a project I'm passionate about, and you've done nothing but attack me from the moment I sat down. Sit down, Julie, Lorraine commands, her voice hard. We're not done here. Yes, we are, Julie replies firmly. I don't know what's happened to you, Lorraine. I used to respect you. But this is cruel and unnecessary. Lorraine stands now too, her face flushed. Cruel? You want to talk about cruel? Try being a woman in this industry who actually has to work for her success instead of coasting on roles from decades ago. Try building something from nothing instead of living off past glory. Mark stands up from the panel. Lorraine, stop. This has gone too far. Stay out of this, Mark, Lorraine hisses. This is between me and our guest. Julie shakes her head slowly. No, it's not. This is about you and whatever insecurity is driving this behavior. I've done nothing to deserve this treatment. Insecurity? Lorraine's voice rises. I'm the one with a successful daily show. I'm the one people tune in to see every morning. What do you have? A bit part in a forgettable film that no one will remember in 6 months. Sarah stands now too, moving closer to Julie. Lorraine, please, just stop talking. Why should I stop? Lorraine demands. Because the truth hurts? Because St. Julie can't handle hearing that she's not the star she once was. Well, someone needs to tell her. Julie's voice is quiet but firm. The only thing I'm hearing is a host who's forgotten what kindness and professionalism mean. You invited me here, Lorraine. You asked me to come on your show. And this is how you treat your guests? I treat them honestly, Lorraine retorts. Unlike other hosts who blow smoke and tell everyone they're wonderful, I tell it like it is. No, Julie corrects her. You're being malicious. There's a difference between honesty and cruelty, and you've crossed that line repeatedly. The audience begins to murmur. Some people are shaking their heads. Others look genuinely upset. Lorraine hears them, and it seems to fuel her anger further. Oh, so now you're turning my audience against me? Is that your game? There's no game, Julie says, her voice heavy with disappointment. I'm simply not going to stand here and let you berate me on national television for your own amusement. My amusement? Lorraine's voice goes shrill. You think I'm doing this for fun? I'm doing this because someone needs to hold. Has-beens like you accountable. You walk around with this air of importance. But what have you done lately? Really done? Mark moves between them. Lorraine, I'm begging you to stop. This is going to damage your reputation beyond repair. My reputation? Lorraine spins on him. My reputation is fine. I'm the successful one here. I'm the one with the platform. She's the one desperately clinging to relevance. Julie removes the microphone from her blouse, the motion deliberate and final. I'm leaving. I won't be part of this circus. Running away, Lorraine taunts. How predictable. Can't handle the heat, so you leave. Just like you've been leaving the industry. Bit by bit, roll by roll. Sarah steps forward, her voice shaking with anger. Lorraine, what is wrong with you? This is Julie Walters. She's accomplished more in her career than most actors dream of. Show some respect. Respect? Lorraine whirls on Sarah. Why? Because she's old? Because she used to be good? That's not how the world works, Sarah. Success is about what you're doing now, not what you did 20 years ago. Julie places the microphone on the arm of the sofa. I feel sorry for you, Lorraine. I really do. Whatever is driving this anger, this need to tear others down, I hope you find a way to address it. Don't you dare pity me, Lorraine snaps. I don't need your pity or anyone else's. What I need is for faded stars like you to stop pretending you're still relevant. She is relevant, Mark says loudly. More relevant than you're being right now. This isn't journalism. Lorraine, this isn't even entertainment. This is just mean. Lorraine's face contorts. You're all against me. My own panel. Siding with a guest over me. After everything I've done for this show. What you've done, Sarah says carefully, is create an incredibly uncomfortable situation that never should have happened. Julie deserves an apology. An apology? Lorraine laughs wildly. For what? For being honest? For saying what everyone else is too polite to say? Julie picks up her bag from beside the sofa. No one is thinking what you're saying, Lorraine. That's all coming from you. Your own issues. Your own fears. I don't have fears, Lorraine insists, but her voice wavers slightly. I'm at the top of my game. This show proves that. This show, Julie says gently, just proved something entirely different. It proved that success doesn't equal class. That having a platform doesn't mean you should use it to hurt people. The audience starts clapping. Slowly at first, then building. They're applauding Julie. Lorraine's face goes pale, then red. Stop that. Stop clapping for her. This is my show. But the applause continues. Some audience members even stand up. Mark puts a hand on Lorraine's arm. Lorraine, please, just apologize. Make this right. Lorraine jerks her arm away. I won't apologize for speaking the truth. If she can't handle it, that's her problem. Julie walks toward the edge of the set, her dignity intact despite everything. Sarah follows her. Julie, I'm so sorry, Sarah whispers. This isn't what any of us expected. It's not your fault, Julie replies kindly. Thank you for trying to intervene. Lorraine's voice rings out across the studio. Yes, run away, Julie. Run back to your little film that nobody will see. Run back to obscurity, where you belong. Julie stops walking. For a moment, it looks like she might turn around, but she doesn't. She keeps moving forward, off the set, leaving Lorraine standing alone in the middle of the studio. Mark turns to Lorraine, his face grave. Do you realize what you've just done? I've done nothing wrong, Lorraine insists, but her voice lacks conviction now. I was just being honest. You were being cruel, Mark corrects her. There's a difference, and you just showed the entire country which one you choose. The audience's applause for Julie fades, replaced by an uncomfortable silence. People aren't sure where to look. The camera operators keep filming because no one has told them to stop. Lorraine looks around the studio, seemingly noticing for the first time how everyone is staring at her. Not with admiration or respect, but with shock and disappointment. What? She demands. What are you all looking at? Sarah returns to the set, her expression cold. We're looking at someone who just destroyed a guest on live television for no reason. We're looking at a bully. I am not a bully, Lorraine protests. I'm a professional broadcaster. Professional broadcasters don't attack their guests, Mark says. They don't belittle accomplished actors. They don't turn interviews into personal vendettas. It wasn't a vendetta, Lorraine argues weakly. I was just asking tough questions. Those weren't questions, Sarah points out. Those were attacks. Every single thing you said was designed to hurt her, to make her feel small. Why? Lorraine opens her mouth, then closes it. For the first time since the interview started, she seems at a loss for words. You know what the saddest part is? Mark continues. Julie handled it with grace. She tried to explain herself. She tried to take the high road. And you just kept pushing and pushing until she had no choice but to leave. She didn't have to leave, Lorraine mutters. She chose to leave. Because you made it impossible for her to stay, Sarah says sharply. You created a hostile environment. You humiliated her in front of millions of viewers. What did you expect her to do? Sit there and take it? Lorraine sinks back into her chair, the fight seeming to drain out of her. She was so smug. Coming on here, talking about her little film like it matters. It does matter, Mark says quietly. To her, to the people who made it, to the people who will watch it. Just because it's not a huge production doesn't mean it lacks value. But she's past her prime, Lorraine insists, though her voice is smaller now. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows she's a talented actress who's still working, Sarah corrects. The only person who seems to think she's past her prime is you. And honestly, that says more about you than it does about her. The studio falls silent again. In the control room, the director is frantically trying to figure out how to salvage the rest of the show. The producers are already on their phones. Lorraine stares at the empty sofa where Julie was sitting just minutes ago. She really left. Yes, Mark confirms. She really left, because you gave her no other choice. I didn't mean for it to go this far, Lorraine says, and for the first time, there's a crack in her armor. I just wanted to ask some challenging questions. Those weren't challenging questions, Sarah repeats. They were insults. Every single one. You called her a has-been. You said her career was over. You mocked her choices. How is any of that professional journalism? Lorraine doesn't answer. She can't answer. Because deep down, she knows Sarah is right. The audience is still silent, watching this unfold. Some people look angry. Others look sad. All of them look disappointed. Mark sighs heavily. I think we need to cut to commercial. Give everyone a chance to breathe. No, Lorraine says suddenly. No, we're not cutting to commercial. This is my show, and we're going to continue. Continue with what? Sarah asks. Our guest left. You drove her away. Then we'll talk about something else, Lorraine insists, trying to regain her composure. We'll move on to the next segment. Lorraine, Mark says gently. I don't think anyone wants to see the next segment right now. I think everyone is still processing what just happened. But Lorraine isn't listening. She's shuffling her notes, looking for the next topic, trying desperately to pretend that everything is normal. Our next story is about a new restaurant opening in town, she announces to the camera, her voice brittle. A lovely little bistro that... Lorraine, stop, Sarah interrupts. Just stop. This isn't working. It's working fine, Lorraine snaps. We're doing the show. We're moving forward. We can't just move forward and pretend nothing happened, Mark argues. You just had a massive confrontation with one of Britain's most beloved actresses on live television. You can't just ignore that. I can do whatever I want, Lorraine says, her voice rising again. This is my show. My name is on it. And I decide how we handle things. The three of them stand there, the tension thick enough to cut. The audience watches, transfixed by this behind-the-scenes meltdown happening right in front of them. Sarah takes a deep breath. You're right. It is your show. Your name is on it, which means this disaster is entirely yours too. Every cruel word, every insult, every moment of disrespect. It's all on you. Lorraine's hands are shaking now. She grips her clipboard tighter, trying to hide it. I don't need a lecture from you. Maybe you do, Sarah says softly. Because someone needs to tell you that what you did was wrong. Deeply, fundamentally wrong. And no amount of deflecting or justifying is going to change that. Mark nods in agreement. Julie came here in good faith. She trusted you. She trusted this show. And you betrayed that trust in the worst possible way. I didn't betray anything, Lorraine protests, but even she doesn't sound convinced anymore. You did, Sarah insists. You took someone who was vulnerable, who was putting herself out there, and you attacked her. For what? To feel powerful? To prove you're still relevant? The words hit home. Lorraine flinches visibly. That's what this is really about, isn't it? Mark says quietly. You accuse Julie of trying to stay relevant, but you're the one who's worried about it. You're the one who feels threatened. I'm not threatened by anyone, Lorraine whispers, but the conviction is gone. Then why did you do it? Sarah presses. Why did you treat her like that? Give us one good reason. Lorraine opens her mouth, but no words come out. Because there is no good reason. There never was. The silence stretches on, painful and heavy. The cameras keep rolling, capturing every moment of this unraveling. Finally, Lorraine speaks, her voice barely audible. I don't know. It's the first honest thing she's said since Julie sat down. Mark and Sarah exchange glances. Neither of them seems satisfied with that answer, but neither of them pushes further. What's done is done. The studio audience remains quiet, processing everything they've witnessed. This wasn't the light morning show they expected when they arrived. This was raw, uncomfortable, and real in a way that daytime television rarely is. Lorraine sits in her chair, surrounded by the wreckage of her own making. The bright studio lights suddenly feel too harsh, too exposing. Everywhere she looks, she sees disappointment. In her panelists, in her audience, in the faces of her crew. And somewhere offset, Julie Walters is probably getting into a car, leaving this mess behind, her dignity intact while Lorraine's lies in pieces around her feet. The cost of cruelty laid bare for everyone to see.